And then we do have some questions. There was one
Yeah.
from someone named Garen Hill asking, if you aren't a poet, but were interested in getting started, how would you do that?
Oh, well, you just have to read. It's really, it's such dull advice. There's no key to it. You just have to read poetry, that is, for 10,000 hours. That's a good number that people use. I mean, if you're going to become proficient at anything, like the cello, you would take cello lessons. If you wanted to be a sculptor, you would take lessons in sculpture making. You wouldn't just attack a piece of marble with your bare hands and a screwdriver. Or these days,
You could.
it could pass for post-contemporary art. So, but there's no, you can just grab a pen and express yourself. You can't do that with a cello or a bassoon or a piece of marble. So the preparation to write poetry is really a hidden one, and it really lies in the simple act of reading tons of poetry. And I mean not just stuff you find in magazines, but if you really want to be trained in poetry, you need to read Milton, you need to read Paradise Lost, you need to read Wordsworth, you need to read Wordsworth's Prelude, big poems, the major stuff, and so that eventually you kind of internalize the rhythms of English verse. You kind of start thinking iambically, not exactly that you're writing formal verse, but you begin to think in the rhythm of English poetry. That's if you want to take it seriously. I mean, if you don't want to take it seriously, you can just get a 79-cent pen and express yourself. No one's going to read it with any pleasure because you don't have the training. You're not part of you haven't paid attention to what's happened in the past. And you know how it is if anyone comes along and they haven't bothered to check out the history of what they're into, mm-hmm. and they just kind of announce themselves as if they discovered it, they really look like jackasses. So there's that risk also. Mm-hmm. So reading is, I'm afraid, the answer.